now in his 6th month of competition because he refuses to take his mask off.
We interrupted this broadcast to bring you a special news bulletin.
Did someone say jailing Nutes? Sorry, breaking news. Here at Lightspeed Tonight, we've just received word that very shortly a verdict will be delivered on the case of Nute Gunray versus, well, pretty much anyone who's met Nute Gunray, but specifically the people of Naboo. Let's go live to the courtroom because we are a news show. He's done what? So, no footage at all. Unbelievable. Well, what do you know? Gunray's legal team have managed to prohibit all photography, presumably because they don't want us to see how much he's sweating. You know, this is actually a good thing. It gives me time to catch you up on how we got here, a verdict of 10 years and 3 false starts in the making, and it also means I can set up the board game I brought along for the occasion. Hailing from Nemoidia, Gunray spent his first 7 years as a grub, hoarding food while his kin starved around him. This clearly left a lasting impression on the young Nute, and perhaps that's what inspired him to cut off the food supply to Naboo. Anyway, being selfish and lacking empathy meant he was a natural fit for the Trade Federation, quickly rising from junior trade officer to the rank of Viceroy. Incredibly quickly. Suspiciously incredibly quickly, in fact. Whenever anything blocked Nute's path to promotion, it seemed to conveniently vanish. Whether it was a CEO he somehow got the deciding vote to expel, or an assassinated negotiating team from which he was the lone survivor. Somehow Gunray was always well placed to reluctantly step in. It's been 10 years since what happened on Naboo, the allegedly treasonous act that saw him finally taken into custody. And that brings us to the first 3 trials of Nute Gunray. That's right, today what we're gleefully looking forward to is justice attempt number 4.
Nute Gunray, not guilty.
Perfectly legal.
Nute Gunray, not guilty. Again.
Victory.
Devoid of remorse, the Nemoidian avoids recourse.
Frustratingly, few details of the first 2 trials ever entered public record, so all we know for sure is that Gunray protested his innocence from day one. Both trials were derailed by strange procedural issues, and precisely none of the charges stuck. The third ended, hopefully not literally, in a hung jury. Not short of credits, Gunray is paid for the biggest, most expensive legal teams at every turn, and the combined cost is said to be enormous. His reputation, on the other hand, seems completely unaffected, although that mainly tells you how low public opinion of him was to begin with. It's too definitive to say there's no smoke without fire, but Gunray has spent an entire decade making sure there's so much smoke that it's hard to remember where the fire was. Put it this way, the Viceroy doesn't just know where the bodies are buried, he also has receipts for the shovels. I mean, we're dealing with someone who thought the people of Coruscant would find this image reassuring. What could be a greater source of comfort than picturing your planet being awkwardly cupped by a clawed green hand poised as if ready to slam into a clenched fist at any moment? Ironically, the small print claims the Trade Federation wanted to bring peace, security and prosperity to every arm of the galaxy, and yet the arm they chose for the poster was that one. It's a cliche of course, but on your first day in prison you're meant to find the biggest guy in there and punch him right in the face, just to show everyone you're not to be messed with. Gunray's just shy of 2 meters tall, even without the hat, so I imagine he's going to have a continuous pair of black eyes for the duration of his sentence. Speaking of which... Oh really? Still no footage, but we've got an audio feed and a lovely painting of a courtroom. Pop your corks and raise your glasses high. It's verdict time.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Nute Gunray, not guilty.
I cannot believe that this is what we're seeing here. The verdict, you can hear it there now, has led to open and audible gasps in the chamber and disbelief on Naboo, where citizens had gathered in the thousands to stare at these giant screens in anticipation at what they felt was or would be or should be justice at long last. Gunray is now set to keep both his assets and, unbelievably, his title of Viceroy.
Are you kidding me? Subscribe to the channel for more episodes and other Star Wars content, and consider joining our Patreon to support what we do.